Welcome to another episode of Equity Mates. We've made it to the end of the week. Our golf course is coming. My name is Bryce, and as always, I am joined by my equity mate, Ren. How are you going?
I am good. I'm sure everyone that hasn't made it to the end of the week and has to work tomorrow is quickly switching off.
I also work tomorrow, but we've made it to the end of our AusBiz week.
You say that, but you're very confident that you're at the end of your week.
This is true. But look, we're closing out this week by bringing on two hosts for one of Equity Mate's newest shows. Well, Equity Mate's newest show, which is You're in Good Company. We're joined by Maddie Guest and Sophie Dicker. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys.
So, as we said, You're in Good Company has recently launched, and look, with only 18% of active investors being women, Sophie and Maddie have decided to try and do something about that and improve the conversation and upskill not only their friends but many other women in the financial community, and that is what I guess You're in Good Company is all about and why we have partnered with them to start. So we're going to spend the rest of this episode walking through a bit about the podcast, also a bit about getting started investing and some of the lessons and I guess resources that we've been using and also the girls have been using to start their journey, and a few key misconceptions as well that will hopefully, if you're right at the beginning of your journey, give you some confidence to start.
Yeah, that's it. So, look, Bryce has given a bit of an introduction on the show, but would love to hear it in your own words, Sophie and Maddie. So, Maddie, maybe if you can kick us off today, can you tell us a little bit about You're in Good Company and what you're hoping to achieve with it?
Yeah, so as we say at the start of every episode, You're in Good Company is a podcast for like-minded people who want to learn to make smart investment decisions. So our goal really is just to break down the world of finance and investing so that we can all feel more comfortable and confident to, I guess, join the conversation and start getting into investing and make those more informed and empowering financial decisions.
Nice. And Sophie, I guess what was the driver or the point in time where you felt like this was what needed to be done and a reason, and why podcasting? What was it about, I guess, your friends and your, I guess, experience that led you to do this?
Yeah, well, I guess that we really realized through our own experiences that talking about investing and talking about our money with our friends is quite uncommon. And this frustrated us because we found the experience to be really exciting and pretty empowering. And it's just, I guess, one of those topics we haven't really been able to digest with friends. I read a quote the other day that said that women are taught to the road to financial empowerment through learning to budget, whereas men are taught to invest. And I guess this is a bit of a big generalization, but for so many people that we've chatted to, investing isn't even on their radar as something they've been able to do. So I guess we just really want to change this norm and create a platform where we can start the conversation.
Yeah, it is, it's definitely something that Bryce and I have noticed in the, I guess, financial content world. It's definitely male dominated. Finance has a reputation as being a bit of a boys' club. Maybe for people who are new to finance and who don't really understand, I guess, some of the discrepancies between male and female investors, Maddie, can you help us understand it? Like, what do the numbers tell us about the differences between male and females when it comes to finance?
Yeah, so Bryce touched on probably the biggest stat at the start, and that is that females make up just 18% of all active online investors in Australia, which is pretty crazy. But the good news is that times are changing, and according to the ASX Australian Investor Study in 2020, we saw that 45% of those who began investing last year were female, which is really exciting. But the stats also say that females feel like they need and want to know more before they get started. So I guess that's where we thought a podcast might slot in quite nicely. Podcasts are awesome ways to, I guess, give people the words and the information that they need to sort of start those conversations. And we hope as well that the content that we produce, we're going to be able to be really malleable to our audience. So when people send through questions or topics that they want to discuss, we're going to be able to do that in real time. The good news is that research also says that women are statistically better investors than their male counterparts. So definitely something that we want to be taking in our stride there.
Now, the name of the podcast is "You're in Good Company." Now, first of all, we love the pun. It's a great name. But secondly, I think it really, I guess, evokes a sense of community. People investing together. Is that something you guys are hoping to achieve through the show? Sophie, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I guess the double entendre with the name is that when you say you're in good company, it means you're surrounded by like-minded people. And then the second thing is that people want to be investing in good companies. So I guess the whole platform really is to create a community where we can kind of ask questions, discuss things together, and I guess just digest the topic in a very fun and digestible, easy way.
Let's move to a bit about, I guess, your investing journey and our investing journey, because I think just like Equity Mates, you guys aren't pretending to be experts. It's all about joining you guys on your journey and learning together. I mean, I was influenced to start investing primarily by my parents, which I'm very thankful for. Sophie, we'll start with you. What was the inspiration to start your investing journey?
My partner was the person who influenced me to invest. So he was probably one of the biggest influences for me, because he had been doing it himself with his friends, and he knew that the benefits that came from it. So yeah, for me, it was my partner.
And what about you, Maddie? What was the trigger point for you to start your investing journey? Was it Elon Musk? Was it your partner? I don't know.
No, so for me, it sort of started when I was finishing uni and my mum gave me a copy of The Barefoot Investor, and we sort of started discussing the area that was on compound interest, which raised a few concerns for me in the fact that, looking at my bank account versus the potential in investing. And then it was really my brother who sort of had the confidence to say, come on, let's get started and let's start doing it. So we started our investment journeys together, and sort of that was really helpful to have someone sort of along the journey with me to discuss things and make those decisions together. So
yeah, nice.
So that's how you were inspired to start investing. I'm sure you had a lot of, preconceived notions about what investing was and what you needed to know or do to be a good investor. Now that you've started your investing journeys, what were some of those, misconceptions, and how have you changed your mind in the early days of your investing journeys? Sophie, maybe we'll start with you.
Yeah, I guess one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about investing, and it's something that we hear from our friends, is that you're going to lose all your money. People have a kind of certain figure that's sitting in their bank account, and they don't really want to transfer that out. They just see the savings account as being really safe. And I think that misconception's been painted through potentially the media, or like we always talk about, like the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. You see people like day trading, and you're not necessarily going to trust those people with your money like in that movie, but it doesn't have to be like that. And you can make investment choices that are relatively risk-free or have very low risk, and it's not a thing that's going to make you lose all your money, and it can be just as safe as keeping it in your bank account.
Any key misconceptions that you've busted for yourself in your early investing days?
I think for me it's the fact that this concept that investing is sort of only for people in the finance industry, or that it's really hard or time consuming. There are so many easy steps, and all you have to do is set up a few things, and sort of you can even set and forget. It really does not have to be challenging. It really does not have to be time consuming. We sort of joke that the finance industry is built to be complicated, because then everyday people rely on people in the finance industry, but we really want to debunk that. It's definitely something that we've learned early on, and it's been a great lesson.
So what are, you've busted some myths, but if you are thinking about starting your investing journey and you've just come across You're in Good Company, or you've come across Equity Mates, firstly, good, because that's where you need to be starting. What do you think are just some really basic things that you need to know before you start your investing journey, to feel confident to take that next step? We'll start with you, Sophie.
Yeah, so I guess probably when Maddie and I were planning these episodes, our kind of aim was in our first like 6 or 7 episodes to get those basics in before you actually start. So we talk a lot about, unraveling some of that common jargon that you need to be a part of those conversations or read the news or digest trends that are happening. And then move into a little bit about your goals and planning your money goals and where you want investing to take you, and then stick to a plan over your investing journey. And then we move into other topics, such as your risk, building a portfolio, where to find your information, how to choose your broker, just those little things that people do often have a lot of questions about. And once you kind of have those basics set up, then you can really start on your own investment journey.
And Maddie, investing can be scary, I guess. You can it can be intimidating is probably a better way of putting it. What were some of the biggest fears you had when you started investing, and I guess do you still hold them today?
I think for me, the biggest fear was just doing it right, making sure that I picked the best broker and got all the best information so that I could invest in the best companies. And I think once I started, I was able to, and sort of got into it a little bit, I was able to really sort of let go of that obsession of trying to be perfect, because really the benefits come from just getting into the markets and investing in a few things, and then it all sort of flows from there. So definitely not afraid of that anymore. And yeah, definitely just would advise anyone to start and then sort of figure it out from there.
Yeah, love that. I think to quote Ren's most used phrase on Equity Mates, which is "Don't let perfection be the enemy of the good."
Good point, great point.
Couldn't agree more. I think, if you do let that stand in your way, then inevitably you're never going to start your journey, because chasing perfection in investing, I think, is something that even Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger are doing today. So. I guess the message is just get started and you'll figure things out along the way. Now, we'll close it out by stealing one of the questions that you've actually used as part of your interviews throughout You're in Good Company, and we love the question so much. We'd like to get your answers, and that is, if you had to be a stock, what would you be? Maddie, what would you be?
I've decided that this is a question that's really fun to ask, and it's actually really difficult to answer. I initially was thinking maybe an ETF, because I'm interested in lots of different things, but that feels like a bit of a boring answer. So I have settled on Bega Cheese, and that is because number one, it is a great Australian company, and number two, I love cheese.
Nice.
Fair enough. And Sophie, if you had to be a stock, which one would you be and why?
Yeah, I decided that if I was going to be a company, I'd be Patagonia, mainly because I guess I'm very interested in sports, a lot of sports, skiing, running. So it's something that definitely relates to me and my passions. And then also the company is just doing amazing things in, I guess, the sustainability space and the equality space. They're always striving to be better and do better for, I guess, our global environment. So it was a company that really relates to me, and I love their products. So I'd be Patagonia.
I love that. Now, before we move off this question, Bryce, question without notice.
Oh,
if you
jeez.
had to be a stock, which would you be and why?
Oh, jeez. If I had to be a stock, and why? Well, look, you're going to have to come back to me on that one. I want to answer that one properly. Look, I'm going to have to go with Tesla, because
you're massively overhyped.
yes, we'll go with that. What about you?
I'm gonna go Spotify, because basically all I do these days is work in podcasting and listen to podcasts.
You do
so
consume a lot of
I
podcasts.
have I was saying to Bryce, I think I have my headphones in all the time these days.
Yeah, I won't repeat what you said, but it was weird.
I'm either talking to people or listening to podcasts. So yeah, Spotify for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Sophie, Maddie, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on AusBiz. Congrats on the launch of your show. And I think there's no doubt what you're doing is certainly needed in this space. And we wish you all the best, and looking forward to having you on at another point in time where we can continue to chat about your investing journey and how things are going. So very much appreciate you joining us.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you guys. Appreciate your time.
Now, if you want to join Maddie and Sophie on their journey of investing, you can go and find You're in Good Company wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify. Or you can follow them on Instagram. YIJC Podcast is the handle, and they have a Facebook discussion group. So basically, they're wherever you are. But that brings us to the end of another week of Equity Mates on AusBiz. Not another working week, but we hope you enjoyed it, and join us next week for more great investing content. Well, acceptable level investing content.
Acceptable level of investing content and no crypto content. But looking forward to it. We'll see you next week.